Welcome to the 2024 Heritage Angel Awards. Please welcome your host for the evening, Dr. Wendy Austin.
Hello everybody, good evening and a very, very warm welcome to the 2024 Northern Ireland Heritage Angel Awards. Coming this evening, as you can see, from Ballymena's wonderful Braid Arts Centre. Such a fantastic building and such a lovely auditorium to be in tonight as well. Madam Mayor, Deputy Lieutenant, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure to have you all here this evening. And I'd also like to welcome our online audience who are watching across the country and goodness knows where else. So it's great to have all of them joining us this evening as well. We're all here tonight, one way or another, to celebrate the unsung angels of local heritage. Young and more seasoned individuals, groups, craftspeople, or those who've helped us to discover more about our heritage through maybe a research or recording project. These are all people who keep heritage alive and they make things happen. And who knows, these people may have invigorated a building or a place near you that you never knew about. In fact, that happened to me. The old Tollgate cottage at the end of our road was beautifully restored and is now being lived in by a family. And it's wonderful when you see something like that happen. Now, maybe you've been involved directly tonight by voting for the People's Choice. So we have lots to discover, including the winner of that. Tonight's also an opportunity to celebrate again the musical talent of the artists who have brought our heritage to life in the songs that they composed and recorded for Heritage in Song back in 2017. We've got a brilliant evening ahead of us. So to kick us off, could I please introduce you first to the Chairman of Ulster Architectural Heritage, Dr. David Johnson.
Thank you, Wendy. Deputy Lieutenant, Mayor, guests, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone joining us online. On behalf of Ulster Architectural Heritage, I would like to extend the warmest of welcomes to each of you to the Heritage Angels Award, Northern Ireland 2024. This is the 5th time we have held the Heritage Angel Awards, and every evening has been very special. We've been around the province in Belfast twice, and Derry, Londonderry, and Armagh. But it's a particular pleasure for me this evening to be on home turf here in Ballymena, County Antrim, in the beautiful surroundings of the Braid Arts Centre, courtesy of Mid and East Antrim Borough Council. And we thank them for their generous support of the event. Since our last award ceremony, held at a time when everyone was just beginning to emerge from the pandemic, we have witnessed yet more shocking and momentous events, including war in Europe, worldwide financial volatility, and increasing evidence of the impact of climate change. Clearly, many aspects of our future lives will change, and we will need to live much more sustainably than we do at present. It is said that 63% of our waste comes from construction and demolition. And while we will, of course, build new structures in future, the central message is that we also need to make much better use of the precious and finite resource that is our existing buildings, always reusing, regenerating, and repurposing them before ever considering replacement. The promotion of such sustainable practices to help safeguard the future of our planet and reduce our carbon footprint is something Ulster Architectural Heritage has long supported. Our built heritage is precious, it's finite, and it's irreplaceable. Historic buildings in our countryside, our villages, our towns, and our cities are anchors in the sands of time, and they form the backdrop and scenery against which we all live our lives. Their value in physical, cultural, social, and economic terms is now being increasingly recognised under headings such as tourism, the economy, health and well-being, creating a sense of place, shared spaces, and perhaps even social cohesion. All of which explains why it is so important to be here tonight, celebrating the projects and the groups or individuals who have often unsung done their bit to ensure a better future for us all. Since the inception of the Heritage Angel Awards, they have gone from strength to strength here in Northern Ireland. Each year we have seen huge enthusiasm with entries from right across the province, from young and old, from individuals, communities and businesses. This year we have had almost 60 entries, and the only downside is having to pick winners from so many really worthy, inspiring and excellent nominees. A panel shortlisted these down to 18 finalists across 6 different categories, and you will hear more about each of those later. A final judging panel then had to select a winner in each category, and as chair of judges I can tell you that was enormously difficult. The standard and quality of nominees was exceptional, as you will shortly see. No Heritage Angel Award ceremony would be complete without the interludes of music and poetry and song that have so entertained and moved us in previous years. And we're delighted once again to be working with Bridget O'Neill, who was the original inspiration for Heritage in Song. Bridget has kindly curated the entertainment for us this evening, drawing on performances from previous years. And finally, I have also had a message from Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber, and he has asked me to say, welcome to this year's Heritage Angel Awards. The work you all do is absolutely critical in protecting unique heritage, buildings, landscapes, and traditional skills. And it's wonderful to see your achievements recognised and celebrated here today. I'm sorry I'm not able to be with you all in person, but want to send warm congratulations to everyone involved for your ongoing commitment to such an important cause. We send our thanks to Lord Lloyd Webber and to his foundation. So now it's time to relax and enjoy the wonderful evening as we're entertained and we finally find out who the 2024 Heritage Angel Award winners are. Thank you.
David, thank you so much, and it's great to have the continuing support of Lord Lloyd Webber. Who knows, maybe he's watching, which would be nice to think, wouldn't it? Now, I have the honour of welcoming to the stage the Mayor of Mid and East Antrim, who are so kindly being our hosts this evening, Alderman Geraldine Mulvena.
Wow, how magical it is to be here. I know I'm supposed to be thinking it's fantastic you're all here, but I am personally incredibly privileged and honoured to be here tonight. What an amazing evening. So, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honour and privilege to welcome you all here this evening to the Braid Arts Centre for this year's Heritage Angel Awards ceremony. Mid and East Antrim Borough Council is so proud of its rich cultural heritage. Heritage that is for everyone to enjoy and learn from, of all ages and backgrounds, close to home and far afield. It is so encouraging and inspiring to see the rooms so full tonight, filled with people united in the acknowledgement and promotion of the importance of our local heritage. These awards help to highlight the significance of our local heritage right throughout Northern Ireland and offer us the opportunity to celebrate the many unique and incredibly wonderfully curated and cared for heritage sites that we have. Most importantly, the awards provide an opportunity for us to formally recognise the people who dedicate their time to the conservation and protection of the historic buildings and places that we all love so dearly. It is absolutely wonderful to see so many worthwhile heritage projects represented here this evening. The public has spoken and has selected their favourite from the 18 shortlisted projects, which I've been told was an incredible hard task. But every person and every project nominated truly is already a winner. I know we're all looking forward to what promises to be a fabulous evening. Good luck to all the nominees, and thank you again for everyone for joining us here tonight and for supporting the remarkable achievements and significance of our local heritage. On a personal note, I just want to thank you, Wendy, for your kind words, and also for David for your beautiful words, because that's what it's all about. But also as a resident of this borough, and also as a local councillor, but also as a mayor, or whatever mayor. But it's so important. I think each individual ones have a custodian to look after and be responsible for how we protect our heritage. I'm just so, such a huge privilege and honor to be here. And thank you so much, and have a fabulous evening, which I know it will be. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, Geraldine, thank you so much for those inspiring words to start our evening. So, and we'll hear from the Mayor again later on, because she's very kindly presenting one of the awards. But to the first of our 8 awards this evening. The first is for the best maintenance of an historic building or place. And to present this award, would you please welcome to the stage Paul Price, who's Director of the Historic Environment Division at the Department for Communities.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really pleased to be presenting this award here in Ballymena this evening. I do it on behalf of Minister Lyons, who unfortunately couldn't be here due to diary pressures. My department does an awful lot. It has a wide brief. We promote the provision of affordable and suitable housing. We provide the benefit system. But perhaps most relevantly for us gathered here tonight, we aim to, quote, support people, build communities, and shape places. And the arts, culture, but of course, heritage are instrumental to helping us achieve those goals. In my part of the department, in the Historic Environment Division, our aim is to help communities to understand and realise the value of our historic environment. And this wonderful awards ceremony is a fantastic way to do exactly that. And I'm really grateful that our friends at UAH give us the chance to be involved in it. I'm particularly pleased to have been asked to present the Maintenance Award, because it represents the importance of maintenance. The importance of maintenance is something you learn when you don't do it. Maintaining historic places, and we learn this a lot as civil servants, it helps them retain their value. In a sort of really perfunctory way, it means you save money in the long run, but that isn't really what we're talking about. What you retain is the value of their significance, what they do to the people who live around them, their importance to the people and places and to lives. Maintenance may not seem glamorous when compared to grand-scale capital projects and larger-scale interventions. But this award allows us to celebrate what it really is, the day-to-day love and care and devotion, the small steps that mean that the larger whole stays together, hopefully forever. So this category, Best Maintenance of a Historic Building or Place, showcases 3 very different projects, each of a different scale and function, but by coincidence each in an ecclesiastical or formerly ecclesiastical building. Our churches represent about 11,000 of the 9,000 listed buildings in Northern Ireland, and in many ways, these buildings, with their links to heritage, their links to community and to place, illustrate really well the shared aims and what my department seeks to do that I have just mentioned above. So all of these 3 shortlisted projects in this category are worthy entries, and I'm delighted that we've been able to learn more about them and the work that people, all too often volunteers, do to maintain and therefore enhance our historic environment. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Paul. So would you try to understand about the middle there, if that was okay? So, at that, let's have a look at the videos.
Christ Church, originally built as a chapel of ease for St Colum's Cathedral in the 1830s, was closed after a fire and other structural damage in 1996. More recently, conservation surveyor Chris McCollum has overseen essential maintenance and repairs, including the re-roofing of the tower. The Christ Church Open Door project welcomes cross-community use of the building, and its fine acoustic has enabled it to play host to world-class musicians, including Barry Douglas and the Ulster Orchestra. Terry McKeown has been nominated for reversing the decline of St Joseph's Church in Sailortown, one of the few remaining historic buildings in this area next to the Port of Belfast. She's led a team of volunteers in saving the building from collapse and turning it into a community hub for arts and culture. The space engages people in the maritime heritage of Sailortown and has brought new life to a once bustling community which has suffered decades of depopulation and neglect. The restoration team, led by Father Declan Boland, has been nominated for the management and maintenance of the majestic Church of the Immaculate Conception in Strabane. The B+ listed 19th century building was designed in the French Gothic style. By 2016 it was in poor condition until the community volunteers began a huge fundraising effort to secure its future. The team has developed local in-house skills by providing museum standard training in the conservation of church artefacts and blue badge tour guiding.
So 3 wonderful buildings there. I think they deserve a round of applause, don't you? Now, before we reveal the winner, just some nuts and bolts of how this will all work, or I'll be in trouble with Declan, who's our excellent stage manager this evening. When the winners are announced, in this case by Paul, could they please come up onto the stage over there? Would probably be best. Paul will give you your certificate. I'll have a quick word with you, and then we'll get some photographs taken over at the side, and then after that we'll bring up the highly commendeds as well, okay? So, just back to the first award, what did the judges say? Christ Church Open Door, a small group of volunteers, as Paul mentioned, making heroic efforts to widen community participation in the church, initiatives to stage concerts demonstrate a creative use of space. The Sailortown Regeneration Group, St Joseph's, exemplifies a group's singular vision to secure the building's future in difficult circumstances with competing agendas. And the Church of the Immaculate Conception, Strabane, this project shows what can be achieved when a community is energised around a strategic vision for a building. In summary, all 3 were worthy, fantastic projects, all brought about through bottom-up, community-led effort. But there's only one winner, and Paul's going to come back over and tell us who it is. Sorry, I should have let you stay over here.
And the winner of Best Maintenance of a Historic Building or Place, Church of the Immaculate Conception, Strabane, the church restoration team led by Father Boland.
I'll give you this. So I don't know who's going to be the spokesperson. Father Boland.
Yes, indeed.
Well, congratulations. Your name's on it.
Thank you very much. I'd like to accept this award on behalf of our team here, Lorraine and Amanda and Damien and Mary and Russian, who can't be here, on behalf of the wonderful people of our parish who give us the support and impetus to keep it going. We started just before COVID, and we were able to do it in the middle of COVID, and we're en route for the second phase of our development. And we're very proud, very privileged, and very honoured to accept this award this evening, and I know that it'll be a great boost for our parish community.
Oh, well, congratulations to all of you. What a terrific team. Well done, everybody.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. No, if you'd like to just stay here, we'll get some photographs. Now, could I ask the highly commended, please, to come up to the stage as well. First of all, Christchurch Open Door. Do you want to get in the photograph as well? We'll just get a quick picture there. Congratulations. And could I ask Sailortown, please, to the Regeneration Group, to come and get their certificate. Is someone here from Sailortown Regeneration Group? Yep. Well done, thank you. John. Well done. Nice to see you again, John. And Paul, thank you so much. So now I'm delighted to welcome to the stage BBC Radio 4's Our Country presenter and a very familiar face and voice on Radio Ulster and BBC Northern Ireland, Helen Mark. And Helen's going to present the second awards category of the evening for the best rescue of an historic building or place under $1 million. That's a category which showcases 3 very different projects, each of a different scale and function, but each successful and important in its own right. Please welcome Helen Mark.
Thank you. Good evening, and it really is lovely to be here to present this award. As you heard, the best rescue of an historic building or place under £1 million. More and more of a challenge when you think of the eye-watering costs of building materials and builders. So well done to them for that. And I've watched the 3 videos, and I am super impressed by what has been achieved. The thing is, this category highlights the work that can be done on a smaller scale and a budget, but that does not take away from the immense social, cultural and economic impact each have had for locals, for visitors, and in one particular case, for childcare facilities. And you might feel this as well, but when I was watching the video with the youngsters in the creche, and they were just being so happy in that place, I was quietly hoping that, you know, they're in their early formative years, they might subconsciously absorb a love of characterful buildings, old buildings like the one that they were in that's been restored, and that might set them on the path to being the next generation of heritage angels. Now, all these nominations have come into being because the folk involved have a passionate belief in saving our built heritage and are prepared to slog it out to make things happen. And it really takes true grit for an individual, a family, a community to rescue and repurpose an important piece of Northern Ireland's architectural history.
Helen, thank you so much. I think Helen's just invented a new category, a heritage cherub, which could be a good one, couldn't it? Well, the judges had an enormously difficult decision to make. Let's take a look at the videos of the nominees.
Arthur's Boutique Guest Accommodation in Royal Hillsborough is a B2 listed property dating from around 1790. It was on the at-risk register when Jonathan and Lynn McCabe acquired it in 2018. Their biggest challenge was reconciling building control with historic building requirements, but solutions were found and the work was completed in 2022. The contractor refurbished the sash windows, restored the decorative plasterwork and recreated the rare Edwardian shopfront. The result is unique guest accommodation that preserves the past in the heart of Hillsborough. Raceview Mill faced demolition after being put up for sale in 2013. Just over a decade later, thanks to the dedication of Roy McKeown, the buildings on the 16-acre site have been restored and improved and are now home to 35 local companies employing nearly 200 people. The water wheel is back in running order after 5 years' work, and the site has echoes of its heyday as a bleaching green and flax mill in the early 1800s. The Caledon Regeneration Partnership has rescued the village's wool store, which is a limestone and brick construction dating from 1823. The building was used during the First World War to store wool for making soldiers' uniforms. It's now a creche, providing families in the area with much-needed childcare. It employs 17 staff to look after 58 children. Revenue generated by the creche is supporting further conservation work in the village.
Oh, 3 wonderful projects, I'm sure you'll agree. So the judges had a really difficult decision to make. All 3 demonstrated such care and respect for the restoration of heritage buildings. Here are their comments. Arthur's Boutique Guest Accommodation in Royal Hillsborough, a brave move for Jonathan and Lynn McCabe to step in and take on a building at risk with minimal grant aid. Much credit is due for a great job. Raceview Mill, Brishane, this huge-scale industrial heritage site, now incubating a host of new businesses, would have been lost without the vision and determination of Roy McKeown. And the wool store, Caledon, a great collective community effort by the Regeneration Partnership, working with the funding sector to deliver a sustainable project with job creation and wider impact. In summary, passion, perseverance and imagination in spades in all 3 projects, creating sustainable legacies for these heritage assets. So I'll hand over to Helen, who has the magic envelope to reveal who's won.
Can I just do it here? Yes. Okay, and the winner is Rescue of a Historic Building or Place, Mr. Roy McKeown of Raceview Mill. Congratulations.
labour of love.
It was a labour of love, yes. But really not possible without the help of family and friends and the local people in the community who really came together with me, but particularly family, including my grandkids.
So they're the Heritage Cherubs this time round.
Absolutely are. Absolutely, they're the Heritage Cherubs.
Why did you want to do it?
I just didn't like the idea of the mill just automatically being demolished. It was such an assumption. It wasn't like there was a debate in the village. It was just, it was just going to be demolished. And that just didn't seem sensible. When there was so much space there, it's sitting on 16 acres, there's 5 acres of buildings. Surely we could get the artists in there and professionals in there, and it's worked.
Well, you had real vision, and congratulations on carrying it through. And I'm sure, was he hard to live with during that? A little bit.
I'm very spoiled. Somebody told me that earlier tonight.
I love a woman who's good at a little bit of understatement. Congratulations to you both. Well done.
Thank you.
Now we can recognise our highly commended, and this must have been such a difficult category to judge, I think. First of all, could we ask Jonathan and Lynn McCabe from Arthur's in Hillsborough to come up? And you can come up whichever flight of steps is nearer to you. This one here is great, Lynn. Congratulations. And from Caledon, the Wool Store Regeneration Partnership. Well done to Caledon Regeneration Partnership. Helen, thank you so much. And we'll see you again later on.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Now, we promised you some poetry and some song and some prose, and we're going to have all of them. Back in 2017, for one of the early Heritage Angel Awards, Ulster Architectural Heritage commissioned a number of compositions through its Heritage in Song project. Now, I will be absolutely honest with you. The very first time we did this, which was in the Opera House in Belfast, I had no idea what that meant. I kept saying, how are they going to do this? And it was a total triumph. It was just absolutely wonderful. This song that we're going to hear now is one which is particularly close to my heart. It actually, we heard it for the first time when we were in Derry, London Derry. And it recalls the heyday of Austin's department store in Derry, which belonged to my grandfather at one stage, and then then it moved on to the other family, to the Hassans. So it reminds me of all kinds of things. It reminds me of my grandmother, who was a milliner, of the super cafe on the top floor, and you'll hear it in there, and of the sometimes rather dodgy lift. So here to perform it is a great supporter of Heritage Angels, Bridget O'Neill, with her band, and this is Window Seat.
Hello there, it's wonderful to be back again at this fantastic event celebrating buildings, and a lovely opportunity to sing some of the songs that we've written from years past. And as Wendy said, this is about Austin's department store, so I managed to weave in the fabulous story she told me about her grandmother with some of the features of that beautiful building. And there was one story that somebody told me about a lift which got stuck between floors. And there was a formidable lady in the lift who used to say, on the count of 3, everybody jump, and the lift would take off. And I thought, now there's an idea when you get stuck between floors and something just makes you lift again. So it's called Window Seat. Every window tells a story. Every story needs someone who's gonna survive. We're gonna share in that glory. Once you found your way and you're on the inside, you thought you had nothing, but you'd studied your craft and you carry your trade, stitching all of those colors to fashion something only you could have made. Take the elevator and don't mind if it stops between floors. All the greatest views are built on dreams like mine and yours. Meet me on the top floor, I'll be waiting there for you. Meet me on the top floor, I know you can make it too. Sitting on the window seat, world at your feet. Can you conquer this city? Working all those shapes into your design. Fasten flowers so pretty. You're stealing all those hearts. You're stealing mine. I always knew you had something. That cutting edge you'd never lose. Like a diamond that glitters is made of something that will always cut through. Take the elevator, don't mind if it stops between floors. All the greatest views are built on dreams like mine and yours. Meet me on the top floor, I'll be waiting there for you. Meet me on the top floor, I know you can make it too. Meet me on the top floor, I'll be waiting there for you. Meet me on the top floor, I know you can make it too. Sitting on the window seat, world at your feet. Sitting on the window seat, the world at your feet. Sitting on the window seat, world at your feet. Thank you.
Oh, Bridget, thank you so much for that. That was absolutely wonderful. And thanks to Nick Scott on bass, Rod McVeigh on keyboard, Cian McGrory on guitar and uilleann pipes, and Anthony Toner, from whom we will be hearing again later. Now, on to our next award for the best contribution to a heritage project by young people. The future of our built heritage, as Helen so rightly said, lies with the young people of today. So encouraging the participation of the next generation is absolutely vital to secure our built heritage and not end up with a Joni Mitchell moment. You know, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? So try not to get to that stage. And Lord Lloyd Webber is particularly keen on getting young people involved. And tonight we have 3 great projects to commend. So I think it's very apt that to present this award, we can welcome back the Mayor of Mid and East Antrim, Alderman Geraldine Mulvenna, who's a great supporter of young people.
Thank you, Wendy. Yes, I am a huge supporter of younger people because, well, I'm young at heart, you know, even though I'm old, but also they are our future. But it's just, I'm so delighted, just before we present the award, to be, again, to be presenting this award for the best contribution to the Heritage Project for Young People. It is absolutely fantastic to see so many young people involved from such a diverse range of projects in this year's awards. And from primary school children discovering Fermana's vernacular heritage and social history, to community archaeology digs near Lurgan, to the Old Town Market Day in Lisnaskea, and all of these are truly wonderful projects, and how incredible that they're all involved in that. And it would, of course, be remiss of me not to acknowledge the support that these young people receive from their parents, guardians, families, teachers, and mentors. And we all thank you for nurturing roles that you play in allowing these inspirational people to flourish. It's absolutely amazing. And before I just announce the awards, it was remiss of me not to say what an incredible evening this is, and it's spectacular, and I'm just in awe of it. But you know, it is fantastic, but it would not happen without the incredible volunteers for all these organisations. And I have to say that from the communities, I keep saying, if I won the lottery tomorrow, or we all did, you could not pay for these volunteers that do this work, because you're absolutely priceless. So I think you deserve a clap. So
we're going to see the videos?
Yes, I'm delighted to. You're going to see the videos?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Let's have a look at the videos.
Two community archaeological digs, prompted by the detective work of local historian Dr. Francis McCorry, have unearthed a human settlement dating back to Neolithic times in a field near Lurgan. The land is known as Kilmacolum Ogue, or Church of My Little Coleman. Around 450 people have taken part in the digs or visited the site, including school pupils and college students. Funding is being sought for another dig to unravel more of the mystery of Kilmacolum Ogue. Children from 7 primary schools in Fermanagh recruited their older relatives and neighbours to help with a project exploring the county's built heritage and associated social history. They interviewed people with knowledge or memories of life in the early to mid-20th century, and their work was incorporated into the school curriculum. The result was 193 research projects, providing a unique record of Fermanagh's vernacular heritage. The volunteers of Lisnaskea Historical Society run an annual market day to reflect the area's heritage and involve primary school pupils in a living celebration of the past. The children dress in historical costumes and bring items to trade at the market yard. The event features craft demonstrations including willow weaving, crochet, wool spinning and rope making, as well as music and entertainment performed by the children.
So, those are fantastic, aren't they? Some great cross-generational work going on there too. The judges, what did they think? Well, the Lough Erne Landscape Partnership, Fermanagh school children have gained an appreciation of their own heritage by reminiscing and researching with older generations. The children have been at the centre of the project, contributing a significant volume of valuable records for the future. Craigavon Historical Society and Lurgan Townscape Heritage A youth group and school children alongside university experts had the opportunity to touch history in this archaeological dig. They made some exciting finds, gaining inspiration for future career choices. It was never like this when I was at school. I don't know about the rest of you. And Lisnaskea Historical Society. These primary children clearly have great enthusiasm for bringing to life the old market yard building on Market Day, and they're keeping traditions alive. In summary, the judges greatly appreciated the efforts of young people who'd taken part in heritage activities, which they will carry forward with them in future years. So, Madam Mayor, if you'd like to tell us who the winner is.
Wow. Okay, so the winner is best contribution to the Heritage Project by young people is schools, children and their families for Fermana's vernacular heritage and social history. Well done.
The photographs taken, that looks like it was an absolutely fantastic project.
It was absolutely wonderful. And on behalf of Lochgarn Landscape Partnership, I just want to thank everybody, but particularly the project was a success because of the schools, the teachers, the parents, the neighbours, the older generation that all got involved, and we have a fabulous record of Fermana's vernacular heritage, but also the social history connected with each building. And as you were just saying, or as someone was singing there about if windows could talk, and if you heard some of the fabulous stories that just then give the children a real value and understanding of the old traditional houses and the way of life. So it was brilliant.
Are you one of the teachers? Oh, no, are you from the same partnership? Yes, but it was a really good project.
Yeah, it was, and you know, as you said earlier, children really are the key to the future when it comes to our heritage and our history and our cultural and social memories as well. So it was a really beneficial project.
Well, congratulations and very well done on winning. Sorry to turn my back on you there, folks, and we'll get some nice pictures taken to commemorate your trip all the way from Fermanagh. Madam Mayor, if you'd like to just stay up here with me and we'll get the certificates for the two highly commended. If I could ask first of all for Digging Deep, that's Craigavon and Lurgan, if you'd like to come and receive yours. Congratulations. And back to Fermanagh for the Lisnaskea Historical Society Old Time Market in Lisnaskea. You're not done yet. Come on. Thank you very much indeed, Geraldine, Madam Mayor, and congratulations everyone in that category. Now, our next category is the best regeneration of an historic building or place over £1 million. To present this award, would you please welcome a Northern Ireland Committee member of the National Lottery Heritage Fund and Deputy Lieutenant for the Borough of Belfast, Patricia Corbett, MBE.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm thrilled to join all of you at this wonderful celebration of the best of our heritage. Congratulations to everyone nominated across the categories. It's an amazing testament to the impact and the value of the heritage around us. This evening I'm representing the National Lottery Heritage Fund, and as part of my role is to award money raised by National Lottery players to projects between £250,000 and £5 million. I also get to see and experience the incredible work undertaken across Northern Ireland. As we approach our 30th birthday in November, I'm proud to say that over 1,900 heritage projects in Northern Ireland have benefited from over £280 million of funding. And it's great to see 9 of these projects shortlisted this evening. Each gives a flavour of the breadth of the heritage we support. Projects that have repurposed heritage buildings to become heritage, arts, leisure and tourism destinations, and as you've heard, a childcare facility. From community projects exploring local heritage through landscape partnerships to a community archaeological dig, all of these contribute towards our vision for heritage to be valued, cared for, and sustained for everyone's future. Tonight in this category, we are recognising 3 remarkable projects shortlisted for Best Major Regeneration of an Historic Building or Place over £1 million. All 3 regenerated buildings reopened last year to public acclaim, saving, rebuilding and repurposing much-loved buildings in Belfast and Bangor.
So, let's have a look at the projects.
The Courthouse, Northern Ireland's first winner of a National Lottery Project of the Year award, is Bangor's only dedicated music and arts venue. This former bank building and Hall of Justice dates from 1866, and its restoration has been led by Kieran Gilmore and Alison Gordon, co-directors of the Open House Festival. Partners from government, the arts, heritage, charities and the community have come together to preserve and rejuvenate this B2 listed building. Templemore Baths, dating from 1891, are the only surviving Victorian public baths on the island of Ireland. They were restored and reopened in 2023 and have won Heritage Angel nominations for the architects and building contractor. Among the interior spaces are the slipper baths, which reimagine local social history, and the 130-year-old pool, which features a bespoke tanking system unique in the UK and Ireland. While working on the baths, 50 local tradespeople learned a range of traditional skills. People may disagree whether to call it Primark or Primark, but there's no dispute over the remarkable rescue of the retail chain's flagship store after a devastating fire in 2018. Joseph O'Connor has been nominated for overseeing the restoration of the B1 listed bank buildings, originally constructed in 1900. He led a sizable team of restoration partner organisations and specialist craftspeople to shore up the Victorian facade and rebuild the interior.
So 3 brilliant projects, I'm sure you'll agree, and I think they definitely deserve a round of applause there. The judges of the Courthouse in Bangor, an accoladed restoration and reuse project which demonstrates how the community can lead on the wider regeneration of areas. Templemore Baths, very positive for East Belfast, genuine connection with the local community and strong traditional skills training programme embedded in the project. And the bank buildings, Primark, A heroic effort to save and restore the building, a phoenix from the flames, giving a sense of pride for Belfast. And in summary, well, I must say, for me, I thought that this was possibly the toughest category ever. It must have been incredibly difficult to judge. Fantastically worthy candidates coming through during COVID, and you could make anyone a winner. There is only one winner, and Patricia's going to tell us who it is.
The winner in the category Best Major Regeneration of an Historic Building or Place is Joseph O'Connor, Head of Construction, Primark Bank Buildings.
Unfortunately, Joseph couldn't be here this evening. He's out of the country. We were hoping he might be watching, in which case, congratulations, Joseph. But Hall Black Douglas were the architects, and they're very kindly picking up the award. Congratulations. I need to come and have a bit of a word with you. Well, for anyone who lived in Belfast, or actually just to go back to the night of the fire, anyone watching it, my goodness, what an amazing job to make that building look even better than it did before, actually.
It's very kind. As someone said earlier, you don't know what you've got till it's gone, and I think that was definitely the case with Primark, as I still call it, and I think it's a credit to the client for actually the dedication that they show. And once they understood what a conservation-led approach was, they got fully on board, and that was right down to specialist demolition, specialist facade retention, and then also the reconstruction.
In other circumstances, it would just have been torn down, wouldn't it? And Belfast would have been very much the poorer for that.
Yeah. I think in this case we were very lucky to have a client who were forward-thinking enough to realise what they had, to recognise that the significance for the city centre and their flagship. So it was wonderful to work on a project like that because it was so, the scale, so challenging, and we learned an awful lot from it.
How do you follow that?
You just have to take it one step at a time and go to the next project with the same mindset, I guess, and just learn from what you gathered from the information and the new knowledge that you gained from the previous project. So.
Very cool head. Look, congratulations. It's a fantastic building, and we're all, I think, enormously grateful that it was saved, because it is the heart of the city, apart from the City Hall, but it is the heart of that part of the city, just in case there's any councillors here or anything, you know. Thank you very much, and congratulations. Now, highly commended. We have many certificates here. Let's do Templemore Baths, Belfast first. McAdam Design, Consark and Heron Brothers were all involved in that, and we've got a certificate each for you, so up you come. Congratulations for the Templemore Baths. And our second highly commended is the wonderfully restored courthouse in Bangor. Kieran Gilmore and Alison Gordon for the Open House Festival there. You can take one side each if you like. So big congratulations. Patricia, thank you very much indeed. At the end of that category, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a 10-minute comfort break in case any of you feel the need to nip out for a moment. But we'll try and pick up the ropes again at about 8:30. And thank you for being such a great audience so far. Thank you very much indeed, Declan, and thanks to all of you as well. And I hope you had a good little break there for a moment. And we're going to come back nice and gently into the second half of our super evening with another of our Heritage in Song compositions. It's written in homage to Templemore Baths, which we've just seen beautifully restored. And the song was co-written by Anthony Toner and by Bridget. Now, I learned to swim in the Templemore Baths. I could never quite work out why, because I went to Victoria, which was on the south side of Belfast. The Ormeau Baths was about a 4-minute walk from school. The Templemore Baths required 2 buses. However, I learned to swim at the Templemore Baths, and I remember it well, and it never at any time when I was there looked as good as it did in that wonderful video. I know I wasn't there when it opened in 130 years ago. But anyway, since I did learn to swim there, I'm particularly intrigued by the title of the song about Templemore Baths, 6 Inches of Water.
Hello again. Yes, intriguing title. I'll let Anthony tell the story about that one.
Yes, we'd been asked to write songs about buildings, and I was walking around Templemore Baths thinking, what's the inspiration here? The guy that was showing us around was saying, oh, these are the original tiles. And I thought, no, there's nothing there. And he was telling us sort of, this is the dressing rooms, you know, this is where you came in and you paid, and he showed us all the old tickets and everything. And it was only when I said to him, could you pay extra to stay or have a deeper bath or anything like that? And he said, oh no, doesn't matter who you were, when you come in here, everybody got the same 6 inches of water. And I thought, that'll do for me, so.
So dirty, your mother wouldn't know you. All week catching steel in the wind with the shipyard below you. When Friday comes and my bones are sore, I join the queue down at Templemore. We get a chance to be as clean as the day we were born.
Before me, he said, son, you gotta live your best or the world will just ignore you. Just when you think you're gonna lose all hope, you get a towel and a bar of soap. Lay back and let the working week go down the drain. We get the same 6 inches of water. We get the same 6 inches of water.
All the workers and the kings and queens,
they go in dirty and they come out clean. They get the same 6 inches of water.
There's a girl on McMaster Street, we're nearly going steady. I clean the dirt from my fingernails and I get my shoes ready.
I hear the hammers ringing in my dreams, but I let it all go up in steam. Lay back and let the working week go down the drain.
We get the same 6 inches of water. We get the same 6 inches of water. All the workers and the kings and queens,
they go in dirty and they come out clean.
We get the same 6 inches inches of water. We get the same 6 inches of water. We get the same 6 inches of water. We won't worry if we're rich or not.
Some like it cold, some like it hot.
We get the same 6 inches of water. Thank you.
Thank you.
There was more than 6 inches of water, I promise you. Bridget, Anthony, thank you so much, and we look forward to your final super duper song this evening, and believe me, it's a real cracker. Now, our next award, we're going to be celebrating the best craftsmanship or apprentice on a heritage rescue or repair project. And it's been interesting as we've gone through the different buildings that we've been talking about this evening, how many of them have involved apprentices and other young people in the various works that are going on. And thank goodness for that, because let's face it, you can't get anyone to do anything for you anymore. And we need a few more of them. So to present this award, a man who I think possibly agrees with that last sentiment, please welcome Barry Nielsen, OBE, who's Chief Executive of the Northern Ireland Construction Industry Training Board. Barry.
Good evening, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to be here tonight, and I hope my strange accent isn't too difficult for you. The Construction Industry Training Board, CITB, we are committed to encouraging training and upskilling in all areas of the construction industry, and encouraging the opportunities, not just for young people, but for all people to transition into different skills. And I was reflecting earlier on that in this world where we keep talking about digital skills and STEM skills, sometimes we forget about the core skills that built our built environment for us, that we all live in, that is part of our heritage and part of a culture. And I say our because in Scotland, I come here to Northern Ireland, and a lot of the older buildings and a lot of the heritage is very familiar to me across that very small stretch of water. The work of craftspeople and apprentices in the wider construction industry and the professionals which is showcased today is inspiring, really. They show the quality and skill which can be attained, but also the important part they play in preserving Northern Ireland's unique, almost like Scotland, built heritage. All the craftspeople in this category are worthy winners. They show amazing dedication to relatively small and specialised areas of skills, and I really don't envy the task that the judges had to choose between them. They may be at different stages in their careers, and each have honed their individual and chosen skills in different ways, but they share that common passion for heritage, for learning and refining those skills that often people don't consider. In my days in Scotland, I actually was involved in quite a few restoration projects of very old buildings, and that's where I learned that heritage skills are actually brand new skills to most craftspeople. They're skills that have been forgotten, that we lose in time, and they're skills that we still need to maintain and keep our old buildings in the manner to which we would want to keep them. So it might be a very small area within our construction industry, but it's so important. We need these skills to safeguard our future and keep our future very firmly linked to our past. So, thank you.
Thank you. At the projects now.
Nathan Morrow of the Rockstone Masonry in Glenarm is nominated twice as a Heritage Angel for his work on James Drummond's grave in Ahuckle and Riddle's Warehouse in Belfast. Restoring the grave of James Lawson Drummond, founding president of the Belfast Natural History and Philosophical Society, involved bringing sandstone from Donegal and installing precision ironwork. Nathan and his colleague Sam Forsyth also carried out major conservation repairs on Riddle's Ironmongery Warehouse, a B+ listed building dating from 1867. Kieran Agnew has been nominated for wheat straw thatching Sam's Cottage, one of 3 listed buildings forming a clachan. The owner, Sam McCartney, grew wheat for Kieran's father, who was also a thatcher. Now those skills are being passed to a new generation. 19-year-old Tommy McWilliams, who works with Kieran, has himself been nominated for his role in re-roofing Keenahan Cottage, which is now award-winning holiday accommodation. Bernard Cunningham undertook decorative fibrous plasterwork at the listed Fisherwick farmhouse in Doak, County Antrim. The work involved replacing rotten timber laths while conserving as much as possible of the original intricate plaster on the barrel ceiling, including the ceiling rose. Missing acanthus leaves, stems and boss were painstakingly recreated.
Fantastic work there, isn't it? What craftsmanship. So what did the judges have to say? Nathan Morrow. Nathan is a talented stonemason and an adaptable craftsperson who also provides courses at his workshop, just in case any of you are thinking of taking it up. You always do a late apprenticeship if you're at that age, and if you're a young person, have a go. Kieran Agnew and Tommy McWilliams, what a lovely story. And there is a shortage of thatchers. This is an encouraging story of how the craft is being handed on to the next generation. And Bernard Cunningham, the judges said, demonstrated great technical ability and impressive plasterwork. Summary, it's been a difficult decision. They're all passionate and skilled individuals. Everybody is a winner. But there's actually only one winner tonight, and Barry's going to tell us now who that is.
It's the moment of truth here. So the best craftsperson or apprentice in the Heritage Rescue or Repair project is Bernard Cunningham of BC Plaster Mouldings.
So congratulations, that was some ceiling rose.
There's a lot more to do yet, Wendy.
Was that just the start?
Well, I was snorting woodworm and dry rot for a week or two, but we got there, you know. So
It's the sort of thing that we look at now, and you know, I suppose most people aren't going to have plasterwork like that in their homes. But when you look at somewhere like this building or the one that you're doing, it's a fantastic skill to be able to recreate that.
fortunate to get the chance at it and just keep it going. And that's what you have to do, you know.
How did you learn it?
Yeah, started with a library book. Well, got a couple of years. They're laughing. Started a couple of years fitting for a company, just standard rooms, the cornice, and work was drying up, so I had a no library book in the house, and I started up, and that was it.
Seriously, just like that?
25 years a year.
And what sort of...
Go ahead, Wendy.
I know. What sort of stuff do you have to use for, you know, presumably when those ceiling roses and so on were created, they used different...
Not a lot different. No? Not a lot different, no. You've been line-based casting materials, much the same yet, so nothing's really much changed in that department. So the old ceilings is all lath and lime and goat hair now, not horse hair. Or cow hair even, so just whatever animal's available. So
Goodness. And you get all that stuff easily now?
You can still get it, like, you know, you can still get it. Like, you know, councils always say, how can we, keep tourism? Look after your heritage. That's the best word I could give them, because
very good advice. I think we would all agree. And just since we have you here, Barry, I mean, is there a big uptake of young people now who maybe are interested in the kind of things that Bernard's doing?
There is. It's very specialised, but within Northern Ireland, even within our plasterwork apprentices, one of the things we do in skills competitions is get them to make their own mouldings from scratch and create that. So we're trying to keep at least the spark of those traditional skills going. Not quite what you're doing, but at least it gives them a good grounding and understanding that all of these intricate mouldings are made by hand.
Lectures. Some of the lecturers I've met in college that I taught in, they would need to go back and learn something themselves, because I'm very serious. I'm very serious.
Say what you think now, Bernard.
Well,
maybe the two of you could get together and come up with a better course.
Well, it's a lot of bucks ticking now compared to skills from what I've seen, so you may as well say it as you see it, but just to finish. I travel Scotland, England, Wales, and they do look after their heritage, and it's an absolute credit. And tourism's not a bother, and it does pay for itself in the long run, as Barry said, or somebody said earlier on, it does pay for itself.
Good man. I like a guy who speaks his mind, and I think we all enjoyed that enormously. And the two of you could go and have a wee chat, I think, maybe.
I'm going to go and buy a library book now.
Well done. We'll get a photograph here, will we? So we have two very well deserved, highly commended as well. Nathan Morrow, would you like to come and get your certificate? Well done, Nathan. And Kieran Agnew and Tommy McWilliams, the Thatchers. Well done. Barry, thank you very much indeed. Now, our next award is for the best heritage research, interpretation, or recording. To present the award, will you please welcome another face and voice that you'll know very well, the presenter of UTV's Mahon's Way, Joe Mahon.
Thanks, Wendy. Wendy has already mentioned the big building in the Diamond and Derry, Londonderry, called Austin's, that she has obviously been a connection with. There's clues in the name, obviously. Well, I was born, I have to tell you, not that far away from there. One of the few people lucky enough to be born inside Derry's walls. They tell me it's a very lucky thing to have. So far, I'm waiting for that aspect of things in life to appear. But nonetheless, if it's not too late, could I make a special plea, please, for 4A Upper Magazine Street? It's wedged between, sometimes people say where you're born is a kind of predestined influence on what you end up doing or what you're interested in life. But I was born right next door to First Derry Presbyterian Church on one side and the Apprentice Boys Memorial Hall on the other. up from Butcher Gate, right beside St Augustine's Church in the walls and within the shadow of Walker's Pillar. All of them, with the exception of Walker's Pillar, which had rather drastic planning kind of authorities had a deal with where that went to. But all the rest of them are still there except 4A Upper Magazine Street. And my only concern is that now, if anybody wants to award me after I'm long gone, 20 years after my death, they could award a blue plaque from the Ulster History Circle. There's nowhere to hang it except on a car park, which is now 4A Upper Magazine Street. My mother, incidentally, was born not that far away from there either. She was born, if anybody knows the strange nomenclature of Derry streets, well, Bishop Street is where she was born, but there are two Bishop Streets. One is Bishop Street within, which is actually within the walls, that's what it means, and there's Bishop Street without. And my mother said that means without indoor plumbing, without a toilet, indoors, without heating. Anyway, we're talking about conservation. I don't know if you building right from the ground up, would that involve conservation, or would that involve a miracle, I think, in this case. But to undertake any kind of conservation or restoration work, you not only need enthusiasm, you need time, you need energy, you need patience, and most likely you also need skills. More importantly, and this is fundamental, you need knowledge. There cannot be any conservation or restoration unless people know what they're doing. And knowing what you're doing depends on scholarship, study, and research. None of the heritage projects that we're celebrating here tonight would be possible without certain individuals devoting a great deal of their time, and indeed some cases a lifetime, doing precisely that, which is providing the knowledge that the rest of us rely on but often take for granted. This award recognises those who have helped people better understand and engage with an historic building or place. It is open to everyone who has researched or recorded heritage, and also those who have worked to better present information relating to historic buildings or places, or to widen audience engagement. Over to you, Andy.
Thanks very much, Joe. We'll see what we can do about Magazine Street, I think, maybe, shall we?
Too late, I'm afraid.
Let's have a look at these projects.
Mapping Monuments was a community heritage project that began in 2021 and focused on historic landscape bordering on Lough Foyle and the Atlantic coastline. The aim, with the help of detailed fieldwork and local research, was to find traces of the pioneering Ordnance Survey of Ireland work in the area in 1846. 20 volunteers, in partnership with the Causeway Coast and Glens Heritage Trust and Queen's University, highlighted the value of Ordnance Survey heritage globally and showcased techniques for mapping reshaped landscapes. 10 High Street, Carrickfergus, an address once home to the Dobbin merchant family, has been sustainably restored with the support of a range of organisations and individuals, including archaeologist Dr. Paul Logue and Ciara McManus. A detailed record of the work, which involved a measured survey and excavation, has been kept for future generations. The findings have added significantly to the available knowledge of the town's past. The 9 Foot in Common project is bringing a new lease of life to Belfast's alleyways, or entries as they're known locally. The project takes its name from a lease signed in 1902, which confirmed a right of way over a 9-foot passage. It has led to investment from Belfast City Council, 7 supporting jobs, and an archive of more than 100 stories, helping to open up the entries to the wider public.
Some fantastic work there, I'm sure you'll agree. To some of the judges' comments, Mapping Monuments volunteer group, it's clearly been taken with a scenic historic landscape around Ballymena, showing innovation in recording and sharing it with others. Dr. Paul Logue and Ciara McManus, their work in Carrickfergus, a project examining a building of rare heritage significance. Detailed research providing fascinating insights into the medieval building and its social history. And Dr. Aisling Rusk and Amberly Neely, the alleyways or the entries. I grew up with one. I walked down it every day to school in Belfast. They're a novel subject to map and record the start of something really clever. In summary, all these projects make a positive contribution to our understanding of Northern Ireland's heritage, but the judges felt there was a clear winner, so let's find out who it is.
Winner of Best Research, Interpretation or Recording of a Historic Building or Place, Dr. Paul Logue and Ciara McManus, researching the archaeology and history of 10 High Street, Carrickfergus.
Okay, 42 magazines. See, honestly, it's on the list. So, congratulations. I mean, there are bits of Carrickfergus that we think we know about, and then there's the rest of it, isn't there?
We're just in shock that we actually won. Yeah, look, it was a great project. I feel a bit of a fraud because I want to say actually that down there we have the two building owners, Elaine and Kim Hunter.
Give us a wave. Congratulations.
And in between them we have the architect, super duper, HBK Architects, Ochilcloy, just giving you a wee plug, Stephen Sally. But on the building, it was great, and we were trying to tell the story of the people in the building and the people of the town. I'm still in shock that we actually won. I thought one of the other projects who were probably better than us would win, but
clearly not.
Talking to Ciara.
So, Ciara, I mean, Dobbins, it's a name that's very much associated with Carrickfergus, but I must say I wasn't aware that they were merchants and there was that fantastic building that you and the architects and the owners have managed to uncover and tell the tale.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway from the work that we've carried out on the building is that the whole history of the building was hidden within its modern fabric. So it was a combination of the wonderful work the project team did on site, just exposing everything, and then the recording we did, and then obviously Paul Logue's research into the history of the building, and we were able to tie it up to the quite famous building that is existing beside it, Dobbins Inn, and give it some sort of contextual place within the town itself. So I think from a project point of view, with regards to its history, it's very important for Carrickfergus as a whole and telling its story. And hopefully there's other buildings within Carrickfergus that will be afforded the same level of research and sort of care as well that was afforded to our building, Hunter Building.
Well, that would be terrific. And Joe, just thinking about it, I mean, your programme, you couldn't manage without the kind of work that people like Paul and Ciara do, because, I mean, unless you've got a research team that you've never let on about.
Well, we actually do have a research team, but you're quite right. I mean, Paul has been a help and has actually been on our programme more than one occasion. This is actually the very first time in my life that I knew something about Paul Logue that he didn't know himself, which is this, and also about, of course, archaeology. No, we have to do a programme like ours, a very good relationship with all of the experts, and these are the experts. I mean, Paul and his team in the department, and of course there are lots of other archaeologists. You can get your archaeologists in all sorts of other good shops as well, but these guys are the tops, and I'm delighted that they've won this here tonight as well. Really am.
Congratulations. Well done. Go over and get a picture there. There you go. So we've got a couple of terrific, highly commended projects. The first one is Mapping Monuments, Ballymena and Coastal Lowlands Scheme. If you'd like to come up and get your certificate, well done. Well done, congratulations. And last but not least, Dr. Aisling Rusk and Amberlyn Neely for the Alleyways project, 9 feet. Well done. Joe, thanks very much indeed. Good to see you. Now, let's thank, we've just done that bit, sorry, got a bit lost there. Barry's Amusements, this was actually what threw me. Barry's Amusements in Portrush, I don't know about the rest of you, but for many places, for many people, for many years, that was where you wanted to go when you were on your holidays, particularly maybe at Easter when the weather was a bit like it is at the moment, and you needed to be somewhere indoors where you could charge around in the dodgems and do all that kind of stuff. And in my case, I could get on the wee trains because there was one called Peter Pan and there was one called Wendy, and that was very good. Anyway, when it closed in 2019, it looked as though the site would be sold to be redeveloped for apartments, but happily for thousands of young people and their parents and grandparents, it is now reopened under new management and with a new name, Curry's. In 2021, Ulster Architectural Heritage invited entries for its Heritage Arts Challenge. Helen Little chose as her subject Barry's Amusements. And here, to read that composition, will you please welcome again Helen Mark.
Thank you, Wendy. Barry's Amusements, Fun for All the Family, by Helen Little. It isn't every day your nana takes off in a bumper car, charging at kids a third of her age. Nana doesn't drive a real car, maybe just as well. There's a man standing next to me at the safety barrier, shouting at boys with hair the same as his blonde hair. Come on, and we'll get some ice cream. Can you not see that woman's mad? I'm only 9, so I don't know what Nana's doing wrong. There's a sign outside that says, "This place is for having fun." Yes, I know it says welcome to Barry's, but fun is what it means. What else is the Helter Skelter for? Or the Big Dipper? Or the machine with juddering brown coins that stops just before you win? It's a cheek for the grown-ups to be annoyed with her. They came to Portrush for the same thing as us. I kept this thought to myself. At school, I get in trouble for pointing out the truth. I finish my candy floss and pull on the sleeve of my granda's jacket. Do you think we should stop her? Granda takes a lick of his 99. She needs to let off steam, pet. We all do in this country. He tells me things I only understand much later, about the terraced house where next door can hear you breathe, and the shirt factory that doesn't pay a living wage. The years of stitching means her eyes are getting worse. Library books are the big print ones, and soon she'll need CDs. Nana sails past waving like the Queen. You know, she started the day all ladylike in a rose-pink dress, her hair set in mathematically precise curls. Not one hair is out of place. But it's like she's a different person. She steers the bumper car to a stop and it thumps against the safety barrier. "Did you see me?" she says. "Did you see?" "Couldn't miss you." Granda bites into his ice cream cone and we wait while he crunches. Neither could anybody else. Nana laughs, pats her hair. You could give the Wayne a turn, he says. Take her with you on the next one. I want to go on the carousel, ride a painted horse with a pink princess mane. But Nana says I'm a big girl now, and it's time to go on the cyclone. The arcade smells of donuts, and the music's too loud. We spin round and round, faster and faster, until we're at the window that faces the Atlantic. All I can see is the sea, and I'm scared we'll spin right into it. Nana tells me not to scream, but it's happy screaming. Granda has got himself another 99. Even he is smiling, though he'd probably deny it. My Nana said I would write a book one day. I've never come close, but I have written a story. This is it, Nana. It's for you. Thank you for taking me to Barry's. Thank you for everything.
Oh, Helen, thank you so much. Not a dry eye in the house at the end there. And such a lovely story. It was a really magical bit. I haven't been back under the new owners, but I'm sure some of you have, and I know my grandchildren will be mad keen to go over the summer. So all of the brilliant projects we've shown tonight have been on the Heritage Angels website for the last few weeks, as I'm sure you'll know, for all of us to experience, enjoy, and vote for in the public vote. So to reveal the winner of the public vote tonight, would you please welcome Director of the Irish News and big supporter of the Heritage Angels, Anne Sykes.
Thank you very much, Wendy, and thank you to everyone involved with such a wonderful, inspiring evening. I know everybody keeps saying it, but really, it is such a privilege to be here. It's been an amazing privilege to see such an enormous amount of work done by so many people at the heart of community throughout Northern Ireland. And for us, the Irish News is about community and being at the heart of that community. So it really is such a pleasure to be here. You're probably all aware that the public vote is something where you've probably all canvassed hard on behalf of your favourite project. And I just want to thank everybody. There's been an enormous contribution made by so many. There was a fantastic response to the voting, but there was one clear, absolute runaway winner. And it gives me absolute enormous pleasure to welcome Alison and Kieran back to the stage to receive the 2024 Heritage Angels Public Vote Award for the Bangor Courthouse Open House. Oh, I know.
Well, congratulations, fantastic. And Anne, you were saying when there was a huge response, and a huge response for these guys.
Sometimes we have to say it was close fought, but I'm afraid it was just clear out. I don't know, did you get?
It's great to have that support in Bangor, isn't it? And obviously elsewhere.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're obviously a very public-facing organisation. We have thousands of people coming through our venue now in the old courthouse. And I think they're really proud of what we have, and I think they feel part of it, and they turn out to vote, which is brilliant. Yeah, really, really pleased.
That's a strong arm too many people.
And you've started something, haven't you? You've really started something. You've got Seacourt Print Workshop across the road now in the old Ulster Bank.
Yeah, you've just bought the old Ulster Bank. And they're actually moved into our old offices on Queen's Parade for 3 months, I think, while a lot of the restoration work takes place. But I think the public vote probably reflects the need in Bangor for the courthouse and hopefully a lot more projects. being the third largest city now in Northern Ireland, there's very little cultural or arts infrastructure, yet there's 80,000 plus people living there. So I think perhaps that's why we've done so well with the public vote, because there's feck all else in Bangor. So we kind of hope that this is the very start of the whole Queen's Parade redevelopment and the Bangor Waterfront Master Plan.
It makes a huge difference when you have something like that right slap in the middle of the town, really, city, doesn't it?
It does, and I think it's a physical representation of the aspirations that a lot of people have, that Bangor will turn back to its seafront again, because for many years it turned away, and I think Bangor forgot that it was a seaside town for decades.
It became a commuter town, didn't it, for a long time?
It did, and
My parents' first date was Bangor, and they went out on a boat, and they took photographs of each other out all those years ago.
My parents were from Belfast, and they dated. They used to come down on my dad's motorbike to Caproni's. So it has a really rich cultural history, and I think people are very emotional about those memories, and that's what we've tried to do, with the courthouse, is to kind of harness that emotional attachment and get people kind of energized. And can we just say a big thank you to National Lottery Heritage Fund, in particular Stella, who championed us all the way through, and Paul. We couldn't have done it without them.
Well, congratulations. Great to get the public vote, and very well done. Anne, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, we're going to get some photographs, folks, so don't run away. So, my goodness, time has flown tonight, and we're at the point where we can first of all congratulate our really deserving public vote winners, and all of the rest of you as well, because you were all in that vote, and move to our final award, which is to celebrate a lifetime of achievement. And we're delighted to have with us a previous winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Chair of Hearth, the Historic Buildings Trust, Marcus Patton, OBE. And I'm sure you all know Marcus, and you'd be looking forward to hearing from him. Before we hear from him, I think he's probably creeping out behind me here. It'd be an appropriate time to acknowledge the fantastic artistic talent that Marcus brings to this event and has done every year through his fabulous illustrations. I think they're just terrific. I still have some on my wall at home, and I'm enormously fond of them. So it's great to have Marcus here to present and announce the Lifetime Achievement Award.
It's great to be able to announce this Achievement Award, but of course I can't just go straight to giving you the name. I have to lead up to it by throwing out some snippets of information so that you can guess who he or she might be. So I'm going to call this person they, in the interest of gender equality, and also not to give it away too quickly. From early years, they have been involved in the conservation of the natural environment, having been schooled in the subject, I believe, by their grandparents, who were experts on wasps, mollusks, and slime molds. Not content with collecting small plants and insects on the hills around Belfast, they soon had their sights set further afield and further up. About 30 years ago, when my children were 10 or 11, they interviewed this person for their little newspaper, and they reported that the person wears glasses and is quite skinny and was an architect in their spare time. They asked the person whether their main occupation was frightening, and the person replied, "You have to be a little bit frightened or else you might do something stupid." Architecture's like that. If I tell you that this person led a large architectural practice for many years, has been involved in the restoration of Stormont, the Lanyon Building at Queen's and Hillsborough Castle, amongst many other projects, and has been a president of the Royal Society of Ulster Architects, you might have a clue who I'm talking about. But if I tell you that our victim was the first Irishman to climb Mount Everest and the first Briton to climb its north face, you will know at once that I'm talking about a person who, according to Jeff Hill, was called by their mountaineering colleagues Datsun Toolbox, but we all know him better as Dawson Stelfox.
Hello, how nice to see you. Huge congratulations. Thank you very much. So, would you rather just say a few words, or do you mind if I ask you some questions? You might have things you would much rather say.
I suppose there's a couple of things I picked up from everything tonight. When I first started out in conservation 40-odd years ago, now, people like you in the audience tonight, people like us, people like Marcus, were castigated as dangerous, eccentric cranks, really, who were standing in the way of progress. And of course that's changed, not completely, but it's changing. And about half of now all construction spend in Britain and Ireland is spent on repair, maintenance, conservation, restoration. So we're not a small sector of the market, we're a growing sector. And for all the good reasons that David said in his introduction tonight, that is only going to grow, because the future is our past, really. It is the conservation and reuse of our built heritage. And that's really what the Heritage Angel Awards are about tonight. And it's tremendous to see such a range of things. I'm slightly shocked, I'm partly shocked by Lifetime awards. It feels like you're going from a dangerous crank to an angel in a lifetime. So, but it is a huge honour to be given this. And thank you very much to all the judges, to everybody who decided that I should be the one for tonight. Thank you.
Congratulations. Well deserved. Thank you. Can we get a photograph of you then? Well done. Definitely far too young to be getting a Lifetime Award, I must say. Huge congratulations, Dawson. I think Dawson and Marcus date from a time when one of my former colleagues, Sean Rafferty, used to talk about setting up a military wing of the Ulster Architectural Heritage Society. That was to deal with those fiberglass fronts that people were putting on their houses at that stage. He thought that, anyway, we'll not go there. But huge congratulations to Dawson, and huge congratulations as well, and one more round of applause, if you would, please, for all of our outstanding nominees and winners this evening. Just fantastic. Now, we've already had some wonderful music, thought-provoking words. I love that piece of prose about Barry's. It's just so evocative. It's been a very special celebration in song and in words as well. And we have one more to go for a really terrific finale. Will you please welcome back Bridget O'Neill with her band and members of 2 choirs, Cadenza and Canticuli, to perform Bridget's own composition about Armagh Jail and those held within its walls, with an arrangement for the choir by Seamus Camplison. This is Sisters Born Here.
Thank you very much, Wendy. As Anthony was saying, sometimes when you're presented with a blank sheet of what to write about, you really don't know, and sometimes the best thing is to go and walk about the building and see what comes to you. And I had done that and had the great it was a great privilege to be able to be let into Armagh Jail and get the opportunity to walk around it and feel what was within the walls. But I still hadn't got the idea of what I was going to write about till I had another great opportunity to talk to someone who had an experience from the very jail, and it was a woman who had spent time there. And she was explaining to me that at night, despite the fact that there were so many very, very harsh regulations where they had to give up babies and had no opportunity sometimes to attend their parents' funerals and some real hard life things like that, they leaned into each other, and at night, while they were all in their individual cells, they all sang, and they could all hear each other singing, and no matter if you could sing or not, they went round the cells, and everybody had to do something, sing or say something, a poem or something, and that really lit up ideas in my head, so I created the song Sisters Born Here. So that's the background to this one.
We walk a line between heaven and hell. We are sisters born here, they know me well. We're in a space between right and wrong. The same sky looks down on everyone. Reach for the light at the end of the day. The bonds we share keep the darkness away. Can you hear hope ringing through the vaults and bars? Can you hear us singing through them to the stars? Is there any winning? We find ourselves together here. Motives mixed with lines drawn clear. And every day we wait for news. The world outside paints an inside view. A mother comes, a brother goes. And just for half an hour we're touching home. Can you hear hope ringing through the vaults and bars? Can you hear us singing through them to the stars? Is there any winning? Is there any winning? Fighting our own wars.
very much. Thank you very much to the fabulous choir and to the fabulous band tonight. Thank you.
Well done, Bridget, and the whole band and choir. Thank you so much. That was absolutely brilliant. Come on and take one more bow, please, will you? That was fantastic. But you can hear us there. Go and take another bow, please. And Anthony, and the choir, and the band, and the offspring. Come on forward. Don't be shy. That was terrific. So that's what Heritage Angels sound like. Thank you so much, everybody, and really great to see you again, and thank you for a huge contribution this evening. Well, now, before we get to the end of the evening and I hand over to the Chair of Ulster Architectural Heritage, Dr. David Johnson, we'd like to mark the end of a chapter in the life of the UAH as David's about to stand down. Now, these few words were written by another long-standing member of the Ulster Architectural Heritage Committee, Alistair Rankin, who I'm sure you know, but who couldn't sadly be with us this evening. And Alistair said, David was elected chair of the Society in 2010, since when he has used his wealth of expertise about historic buildings to the great benefit of the Society. Prior to becoming chair, he was heavily involved in the establishment of the Grace Hill Old School Trust and is currently working to secure coveted World Heritage status for the village where he lives, a Moravian settlement founded in 1759. He was also instrumental in converting a listed church building in Aughachel for use by his medical practice. Alistair said he's been an inspirational leader, a steady hand, providing practical support and guiding the other office bearers, staff and the committee with wisdom and sensitivity, especially through COVID, and we're all immensely grateful. So now it's over to you, David, to round off a fabulous evening.
Wendy, thank you very much indeed. I wasn't expecting that, but thank you, and thank you to Alistair, and thank you to the committee and the many people that I've been privileged to work with in Ulster Architectural Heritage over so many years. It really has been a great joy, and like all of these things, you always get so much more out of them than you ever put into them. So thank you to everybody, and thank you to the many people in the wider Heritage family that I've come to meet right across the province and across the United Kingdom, and indeed through the World Heritage bid across Europe and America. I think, as Dawson said, it's absolutely not a minority sport. It is the future, and it always has been, and it will continue to be. So thank you. What I was actually planning to say, I certainly am feeling inspired and uplifted after tonight, and I really do hope that you are too. And particularly at this time, it really is wonderful to see the amazing work still taking place right across Northern Ireland. We've seen tonight some exceptional examples of people and the rich and unique resource that is our built heritage. It is, as I like to say, a culture and heritage that knows no boundaries. It does create a sense of place and even a feeling of pride that enhances everyone's quality of life and well-being in a way that I think little else can. Heritage angels and heroes like those profiled tonight who champion our built heritage are perhaps more important than ever before. And thanks and congratulations must go not only to everyone who was nominated or shortlisted or a finalist this evening, but also to the wider Heritage family. Every single one of you are Heritage angels in your own way, and Ulster Architectural Heritage is delighted to champion all that you do, and I'm sure we'll continue to do that. I do want to thank all those who have contributed to the success of the Heritage Angel Awards here in Northern Ireland. Our main funders, the Andrew Lloyd Webber Foundation, whose vision and very generous funding has really been vital and was the seed for the start of this whole process. I'd also like to thank our hosts this evening, Mid and East Antrim Borough Council, for their support and for granting us the use of the Braid Arts Centre this evening. And thank you to the Mayor for generously giving of her time and joining us. Thanks also to the Department of Communities for their kind and continuing support once again. And of course, sincere thanks to our enthusiastic steering group and judging panel, with membership drawn from the Architectural Heritage Fund, the Construction Industry Training Board, the National Lottery Heritage Fund, and the Department of Communities. And they have once again done a great job with skill and good humour. And of course, thanks to all our presenters and to Bridget O'Neill and all our wonderful performers who, of course, have added so much tonight. And a special thanks to Wendy Austin, who as always brings calm, I think, and professionalism to the proceedings. And if I might, in aside, say a special thank you to the BBC, because I think half the BBC are here, between producers and floor managers and all sorts of people. So thank you to everybody who has ensured that everything has run just so smoothly. And I, as chairman, am in that lucky position that quite often you turn up and all the hard work's been done and everything runs smoothly. So thank you to them. And that does bring me to our hard-working and ever-enthusiastic coordinating subcommittee, made up of Rosie Ford Hutchison, Stephen and Alison Craig, and Andrew Coleman. And they have really helped to keep the show on the road, and we're all indebted to them. And I would personally say thank you to them. On a personal note, I also want to pay a particular tribute to our very dedicated staff team. Everyone has worked tirelessly to bring tonight to fruition, and in particular the project lead, Philippa Martin, who has had an unenviable job description, I think, in recent months. Huge thanks to them all, and huge thanks to Philippa. Now, Philippa has been hiding behind the curtain, so I'm not the only one who's going to get surprised tonight. So Philippa, come out, take a bow. Thank you very much indeed. Do you want to say a few words?
It's been so wonderful to be involved in the project. I'm still shaking a bit, but yeah, what a project to be involved in. It's just been wonderful to be in touch with so many of you, and to have such a positive kind of way of celebrating heritage and all that's good about it. So thank you.
So thank you to Philippa and her team. And finally, a sincere thanks to everyone here tonight for the work that you do and the support that you give and the interest that you show wherever and whatever your involvement, what you are doing is essential. The preservation, protection and promotion of our built heritage, resulting in cultural, social and economic benefit, is vital, and you are investing in our future. So I feel sure that the passion and the skills and the imagination that we have witnessed this evening bodes well for the future. And I'm sure we really do feel inspired and uplifted, having seen the great people and the wonderful work that is going on right across this country. Do hold on to that spirit and keep up the good work in the days to come. Thank you, safe home and good night. You don't have to rush away. Do take time to network. I'm aware there's very many people from very different groups there, and it's a real opportunity to have a chat. So don't feel you need to just rush away. But thank you and safe home.
David, thank you so much. And just before you do all go, could I say a big thank you for coming along this evening, for being such an appreciative audience. David said that half the BBC are here. It was a bit like a kind of escapees reunion, which was very good. Nice to see Stephen and Alison and Andrew and Rosie and Declan, who was in charge this evening. Just before I literally let the doors open, would the winners please all come up on stage? We'd like to get a group photograph of all of you. Bring your certificates with you if you were one of the winners of the categories, and we'll get some photographs. Thank you so much for being here and for being a part of this. Take your heritage home with you and spread the word, and safe home. Thank you very much.